Hey, it's Joe Amoia, founder and creator of GPSforlove.com. Can you easily differentiate between the boys and the men? Do you even know what that means? Well, if you said no to either one of those questions, I want you to pay close attention because in today's video, you're going to be able to understand and recognize the difference between a guy who is relationship ready and who you should invest in versus a guy who isn't. So let's just get right into it. First and foremost, you need to understand that there is a difference between different types of guys out there. There are the boys and the men. And what I mean by that is it sounds just like it is. The boys are the guys who just are immature. Okay. They're not even, they might be great looking, they might be incredible lovers, but they're not worth investing in if you want to have a long-term relationship. And the men, those are the good guys. Those are the guys who will be a great partner and who will be there for you and who will light up your life inside and outside the bedroom. So let's just get in there and define. So there are what I call 3 signs to recognize the boys. Now the boys, those are the guys who are selfish. It's all about them. They don't really care about you. They don't care about how their choices and decisions will affect you. They may say they do, but their actions don't back up their words. So that's the first sign, is that they're selfish. The second one is that they're emotionally unavailable. They're immature. So what do I mean by that? Basically is that they're closed off. No matter how much you love them, no matter how much you do for them, they're not emotionally available. They can't be the relationship partner you want them to be. Now, again, this is where you have to be careful because they may say and do all the right things in the beginning, but ultimately, as you start to date them, as you get involved with them, as you're in a relationship with them, you start seeing that, you know what? They're closed off. They can't communicate. They don't listen. All these signs that show you that they're not emotionally available. And they're immature. If you're going to be in a relationship in this thing called life, you need a healthy, emotionally available, mature partner. You're going to have to make some tough choices and decisions. You're going to have to work together as adults. And if a guy doesn't have that ability, no matter how much you love them, no matter how much you sleep with them, it's not going to be the relationship you want. So that's the second sign. The third sign, and this is the pretty obvious one, is what I hear all the time, is these are the guys who only want to get laid. It's all about sex. That's all they care about. They will say or do anything to get in your pants, but that's their primary concern. That's all they look to you for. And look, I've been a guy. That's just how it is. There are a lot of guys out there like that. So again, they're pretty transparent. So you've got to be able to sit back and recognize the guys who are selfish, emotionally unavailable, and who are only interested in sex. Okay. Those are the guys you can have fun with. You can have some great sex. You can have some great times. Just don't look to create a long-term relationship with them because it'll never last. So those are the boys. Now we'll talk about the men. Now, these are the guys who make great relationship partners. Okay? These are the guys that they're unselfish. They realize that their choices and decisions will affect you. They know how to be a partner. They know how to be in a relationship, and they don't have problems being in a relationship. So again, their actions will show you that. So that's the first thing, is you notice that they're unselfish, they're generous, they're kind, they're giving. These are the qualities that you want to look for. The second one is the exact opposite of the boys, is these guys are emotionally available. They're an open book. When I first met my wife, it's like, here I am. You can have access to anything because I've got nothing to hide. You want to talk about my past? I'll talk about my past. I've got no skeletons because I've learned from it. I've dealt with it, and I've got closure on anything that was really harmful and detrimental to having a future relationship. So this is what you want to look for, is a guy who has an open book, a guy who doesn't keep secrets, okay? A guy who doesn't hide, a guy who doesn't say, I don't want to talk about it. If there's something that troubles you and you want to talk about it, you should be able to talk about it and ultimately resolve. Not that you got to talk about it that minute, but maybe, an hour, 2 hours, maybe the next day, but ultimately you resolve it where both people are happy. So picking a guy who's emotionally available and who's mature and who is completely open, that's the guy who will give you the great relationship you're looking for. And the last one, just the opposite of the boys, is these are the guys who care about sex, because let's face it, any guy who's got a penis between his legs is interested in sex. Okay, that's just how it is. But he also wants more. He wants to know you, and he wants to have a relationship with you outside of the bedroom. So the guy who's a man is interested in you as a whole person, not just for what's in your pants. That's how you recognize it's not just, okay, well, let's just do that. Let's just fool around. Now I've got no use for you. He's like, okay, let's fool around. Let's have some fun. Okay, that was great. Now let's go out and do something else that's fun. Okay, let's go to dinner. Let's go to a movie. Let's go hiking. Whatever it may be for you as a couple. But those are the telltale signs, is that that's not all that he's looking for. So I know the question is, but how do I recognize this, Joe? How can I really differentiate between a boy and a man? And it's really, really simple. Okay. I hope you're paying attention. Simply keep your eyes and your ears open. Okay. A boy and a man will show you who they really are. Okay. Your job is to sit back and say, okay, show me. Who are you? Are you a boy? Are you a man? Now, what you got to do is be careful in the beginning, is because a lot of boys, it's like the wolf in sheep's clothing. They try to pretend that they're men. They'll say and do all the right things. And believe it or not, a lot of times these guys, they believe that because that's what they want deep down. Because see, deep down, we're all wired to love and to be loved. But what happens ultimately as they start to get into a relationship, they start to feel vulnerable, all their stuff starts coming to the surface. And here's what you got to understand. No matter how much you love a boy, he will never turn into a man. That is his job. That is his responsibility. It is a rite of passage that each man must go through in order to create and be the person they need to be to have a healthy, fulfilling, and satisfying relationship. So again, I know I threw a lot at you. This might be one of those videos where you might want to go back and watch it multiple times. And I really suggest you to, because this is vital. It really is so simple when you're a woman who is strong in your power and you've got your eyes and ears open and you're clear on what you want and you simply sit back. Trust me, the guy will show you who he is. I have not had one conversation in the last 5 years with a woman when we went back and looked at it where she realized, you know what? Yeah, he really was a boy. The signs were there. Either she didn't want to, she couldn't recognize them because she didn't know to look for them, or she saw them but she didn't want to accept them because for whatever reason. So I want to hear from you. How is this information helpful, and how could it have helped you in the past? What happened in your past where you were with a boy and there were signs there were some of these qualities, some of these characteristics that you were missing, and why were you missing them? Because that's what you want to look at. That will help you learn, that will help you grow, and that will help you create the relationship you ultimately desire and deserve. So go ahead, put your question, comments, and feedback in the box below. As always, honor, privilege to be with you. I'll see you next time. Much love.